Okay, hi guys, hope you're all okay and you've earned a few bob. Today I'm going to make a video about fitting a Q-lock universal mount to one of these, which basically is a copy of an OtterBox. It's not an original OtterBox, it's a copy. It comprises of a screen, a front part with a screen, a back part which is plastic or polycarbonate, and then there's a rubber overshoe. Now this is the iPhone 7 and that's what I'm going to be fitting it to, but I'm a bit dubious to fit the 3M sticky pad universal quad lock mount to rubber, because from what I can gather it shouldn't be stuck to any porous material. It should be a complete sheer surface, and this is, it's textured, and rubber is porous to a degree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this so that that mount ultimately fits onto the back of this plastic, and that will give the best adhesion for the mount. Now the problem is, obviously I've got to cut that shape out of there. So there's a couple of ways of doing it that I can see. One is to mount it in that position. Another option is to mount it in that position, getting it closer to the middle. Now the thing is, from a balance point of view, when it's on my scooter, on my quad lock mount, I will more than likely be using it that way, using it for the navigation, the sat nav. So the thing is, I want it to be as balanced as possible. Weight wise, I'm not sure that's going to make that much difference, because these things are rock solid. The quad lock is the best thing on the market in my opinion, and once it's locked in, that's it. It's going nowhere, you know, until you unlock it. So by putting the balance, the weight of the balance off center, I'm not sure that it would actually make that much difference, to be honest. So if I take that to there, it's still off center, but I've then got this sort of overlap either side, and you want complete surface contact with the back of this on to the material that you're sticking it to. You want as much of this area stuck down as possible to get the greatest adhesion to it. So the thing is, if I do it that way, I think it's going to impede on the inside of this. And so the other option is to cut out a crescent from this window, because this window here is there just simply to show the Apple logo through, which is just about useless, because at the end of the day there's no function to it other than you can see a bloody apple. Anyway, so I could cut it out of that part there, and if I was to cut it out of that part there like that, I could raise it up near the middle and get the balance issue solved, or I could cut it out of that part there, and that way I would get the balance issue, but I'm losing the adhesion thing. So it's a trade-off, the balance versus, you know, the adhesion. So I think really the best option is to keep that hole and to keep it as low as possible. And I think if I am to mount it in that area there, in that position, then that's going to leave part of the rubber sleeve intact, because if I break into that hole there, in other words, if I cut that shape out there, then this is going to impede on the integrity of the rubber sleeve on the back. But if I cut it there like that, and I leave approximately 5mm, then this wouldn't be affected that much. I mean, it's stretching over the case itself, so it actually fits onto the case like so, and so it's wrapped all the way around. And it's very, very tight once it's on. So that's what I'm going to do. So the first thing I've got to do is I've got to work out where I'm going to cut here. So I've got to put that onto there like that. I've got to line it up and mark it. Now I'm hoping the light is good enough here, because I think what I might do is I might just cut for a sec and put some more light on it so that it shows up on the camera and you can see and I can see. Okay, we're back with some light on the subject. So there's the job in hand, and the job in hand is to centralize this, work out exactly where the center is. There's on this quad lock universal mount, self-adhesive mount, there's a north, south, east and west, so it's going to make it very easy for me to actually line this up to make the cut. So what I've got to do is find the center of it. So if I measure that, we're looking at what is from there 67. So half of 67 is 63 and a half. It should fall about there. We're going to measure on the bottom. So just check it the other way. Yep. Yep. So that's the north and south, and now we're going to do the east and west of this mount. It's a little bit lower from my mark, so I'm gonna mark it with the biro. I could mark it with a pencil, but the reason why I bought this is to protect the phone while I'm using it on my scooter and in any other rough environment, so it's going to get marked in a row. So I'm not too bothered about the cosmetic, because the job of this is to protect that, and so any marks on that will not get to that. So there's a lot of people out there probably say, oh, don't mark it, don't mark it. Well, that's the job of a protective thing, such as, now if I work that there, That's about 5mm, which should keep, well, it's actually 6, which should keep the integrity of the rubber sleeve, the outer sleeve, or poncho, or whatever the bloody hell they call them. Now, that now is centered. I'll just double check. It's actually kicked out a bit. Just double check now. And we're looking at 7mm. And that's 6. So we're going to kick it over there just a touch. Keep bloody moving it myself. Well, the 6.5 either way. Right. So, that being the case, my eyesight not being what it is these days, I double check everything 3 times. Right, so I'm quite happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this biro, this ink pen, and I'm going to draw around exactly where I'm going to cut. And there's the shape. And that actually still looks a little bit out there. 5mm there. No, it's an optical illusion. It's my bloody eyes. Anyway, so that's the area that I'm going to cut out. And that, when it's on there, is going to allow that to stick directly to the plastic and get the best adhesion possible. So, how do we cut through the rubber? The rubber is, I don't know, probably a good 2.5mm, 2.5mm thick. So I'm using a very sharp pair of scissors in order to cut this rubber. So what I've got to do is I've got to get into the rubber, and then I've got to cut the shape out. So what we do now is we dive in and we get through, and once we get through, we hope that it's going to cut. Now, this is the part where you think to yourself, there's no return now, there's no going back. I've actually taken this cover that's just come in the post all the way from the land of Corona, and I'm now cutting it. So it seems to be cutting and leaving an even straight edge. As I'm going round, I just follow the biro mark, nice and steady. And by the way, this case costs £5.47 including the postage. It's listed on Wish as a heavy duty dual layer protective armor builder case for iPhone 7. So that's a heavy duty dual layer protection armor builder case. That's what was the title on Wish. and it was £5.47 delivered, which isn't bad value when you think about it. I think the Otterbox version of this would probably be around about 15 quid, 12 to 15 quid. Now there you go, that now fits straight the way through. And there's probably people out there saying, oh no, what's he doing, he's cutting it up. Well, I can't leave anything alone. I've always got to get things working my way. So to line it up, the easiest and best way to do this is to actually fit it to the back of the plate that I'm going to stick that to, and pull it over, because that's actually how you fit it onto the phone when it's all done and dusted. And so that now is where that has come out, and that is going in, and it fits nice and snug. So still got the rubber protection, but I've got maximum adhesion to a solid plastic surface. So now all I've got to do, and this is always a one shot with this kind of thing, is peel off the backing, and now I've got to line it up. And that now is stuck like the proverbial shit to the blanket. And hopefully quad lock will make sure that my iPhone doesn't go flying down the road when I'm flying down the road on my scooter. But that is the job done. So we take that back off again, peel this over, place the cover there, and there is the quad lock. Now I don't know if you can see there's a finger mark there, and the best thing to do before you put your phone into a case like this is to give it a good clean. Now I've already got a protective film surface on it, and there's also a protective film surface on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, for now, leave that on. Now I've tried it already and it fits perfect with that film on, and it works perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this glasses cleaner and I'm going to clean the inside of that lens and the outside of that lens. I'm now going to clean the iPhone, clean all the surface of the iPhone like that. This evaporates. I'm going to clean the inside, use the other side of that, clean the inside of that protective lens and the outside. I'll probably give the outside a clean again. So yeah, it's on the outside. So I'll put that in there. Like so. And I put that there. And I'm going to flip that way so that that falls into there, so that I don't touch it too much. Now, that actually sits inside that case. It's moulded for it, and then this goes on there like that. And then, as you actually start to press this home, now it doesn't seem to be closing on this one as well, clicking fully. I think the problem may be that the actual film or protective glass cover that I've got on it is actually impeding that. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take it off. Being a guitar player, I've got long finger and thumbnails, which helps on things like this, he says. Although I've just broken my my thumbnail. Ah, there it is. So you see the film, this film I think is impeding this, so I'm going to take this off. After paying quite a bit of money for this. I'm going to leave that there. So, back to square one, we'll start again. I'll give it another wipe over while I'm at it. Start again, put it in the case, drop it in, make sure it's located in the part of the case that it should be. Take this, give that another wipe over. Get it the right way around. There you go, it's all popped home. Smashing. Okay, so now that's in place, I'm now going to put the rubber enclosure in, and with this you simply tease it over until there's a groove in there, and the lip, the rubber lip, wants to be sitting inside that, and that pushes home all of the various buttons. There you go, tease it in. Just keep going round and round until everything's snug as a bug in a rug. There you go. Now there's a couple of covers that come off there. There's one there for the muting button on there. Now this is not a waterproof cover, by the way. It's not waterproof. The water could get in there. There's your charging port. Don't know whether that's showing up there, the charging port. And that's a charging port cover. But there you go. That's fitted, and the quad lock is now in place, so I can use it on my scooter. And I'll probably only use this case when I'm using it on my scooter, because it is a cumbersome case, but it's there to protect. So who knows, I might just leave it as is. But £5.47, and got my quad lock stuck to it. Job done. All works fine, and away we go. I hope that's been helpful to anybody that's wondering how to use these universal quad locks and these builders cases. These are made rubber, heavy duty, made for people working in construction industry or anywhere where you drop it and you don't want it breaking. iPhone 7, job done. So if you like my little video, then please click the like button, and if you got any comments, please click in the comments section and I'll answer any questions. And also please subscribe, and I'll be doing some more videos very soon, some trips on my scooter using a sat nav on the quad lock on my scooter, doing some local trips. So if you subscribe, you'll be notified of my new videos as I put them out. Okay, so there you go. Take care, people. And just to show you how the quad lock works, you simply put it on there. He says you put it on there, push, and that's it, locked on. And to get it off, what you got to do is you got to press a paddle underneath. So what you do is you press a paddle and it pops off. But when it's on there, you get used to finding. There you go. It's absolutely rock solid, that. So when I'm riding, I can use this as a sat nav, and away we go. So that'll work fine for me. And when I want to take it off, I just simply, I'm actually pushing that down with my finger and twisting, and off it comes. The quad lock, rock solid. Okay, please subscribe, like and comment, and stay safe.